Now, we are going to talk about past experiences, learning objectives, discuss past vacations, and retell a story using the simple past. We could start talking it by sharing personal experiences. Number 1. Language for talking about personal experiences can be divided into phrases to talk about general or repeated experiences, like I have or generally, found that, and number 2. Once for one-off experiences, like a couple of days ago. Number 3. There are also some that can be used in both situations, such as when I was there. Number 4. Students might also want to talk about repeated experiences in the past with stops such as I used to, all the time, or 5. Pick out one particular occasions from repeated experiences with the verse last time I, etc. Number 6. As with those examples, sharing experiences phrases tend to have time clauses that go with their tenses, such as on the whole and while. Number 7. There are also phrases that tend to be used to end talking about experiences, like oh well, you live and learn. Now, let's practice the conversations with your partner. You may also want to include phrases to talk about a lack of experience, questions to ask about experiences, and phrases to talk about other people's experiences. These are some examples. Generally, or in general, or on the whole, I have found that number 1. Only have very limited or substantial or personal experience of this, but, or I don't have much experience of this at all, but a couple of times, or a few times, or quite a lot, or a lot, or all the time, and I have only experienced it this once or twice, or a couple of times, or a few times, but I haven't had any bad or good experiences with this. On the contrary, like or unlike most people, I have found that my general experience of this is. These are some phrases that we can use for talking about single experiences in the past. With the time expressions, I don't remember this, but my parents told me that when I was a baby or toddler, I usually, but one day, just a couple of days, or a few days, or weeks, or month, or years ago. Just the other day, as I was in, or I was in, when out of the blue, or out of nowhere. I don't remember exactly when, but I must have been about years old when I was affected by this when. I will never forget the time when I just started when it was or seemed to be just an ordinary day, but something or similar happened to me when this happened to me, or during one of the times this happened to me, while I was or suddenly. Next, we are going to discuss about, here are some other phrases for talking about single experiences in the past. A memorable or shocking or typical or bad or terrible or frightening or disappointing or great or life-changing or good experience that or which I had is an experience I had which I wish I would never had is I will always remember or really influence me, is relevant to this or debate or change my life or affected my attitude, or this remind me of or comes to mind is I hope you never experienced what I did, which was I might have told you this story before, but I was a passerby when, or I was walking past when I witnessed something like that happened to me. This has only happened to me once, but this is not like me, but these are some phrases for talking about one or more selected from repeated experiences. I have only had good or bad experiences. For example, my first or last experience of this was the first or last time I experienced this happened to me was, and this is the phrase for talking about past repeated experiences which stopped. When I was much younger, and the last are some example of phrases to end talking about experiences, or that's my experience anyway, though your or other people's experiences may be different. I still can't believe it. It was a once in a lifetime experience. Think. It is difficult to believe it really happened. These are some examples of questions about experiences. Do you have experience of? Has ever happened to you? Have you ever? Have you experienced it? I'm guessing you've never. When you were, did you? And these are examples of phrases for talking about others people's experiences. Claims that. A according to a friend of mine, what someone told me, apparently, but mostly, I don't have any personal experience of this, but I heard that I know a good story about someone told me that I wasn't there at the time, but this didn't actually happen to me. But this hasn't happened to me personally, but